This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Good morning, true seekers and true crime junkies. Welcome back to another episode of Hit the Road Jack, Finding the Zodiac. We have some great things for you this week. We have some new solves from Harriette Sucher, and we're going to be looking at the balance of, hopefully, the DC Freeway Phantom murders and discuss how Jack is on that side of the earth at this time. I'd like to welcome Harriette Sucher to the show. Good morning.
Good morning again.
All right.
It's going to be a great morning.
I just said that.
That's all right. It's a bit of a delay, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, I want to go ahead and pop up the presentation because I want you to look at these two bus bomb notes with me. Now, of course, the one that you are going to talk about today is this one that's peach colored to the left, correct?
Excuse me. I believe so.
And then this one to the right, I have still not sourced.
No, wait. This is the different that he's the bomb in the bus. And
okay, I'm not. You are not able to be heard at all right now.
I can't be heard at all.
Well, you're cutting in and out, and you're not clear.
Okay. Well, the one with the 3-6 on it, that's supposed to be dated 1969, but anyways.
You mean the 5-6?
The what was that?
That's 5 of 6. Page
5
of 6 of
okay,
the bus
yeah,
bomb
my
letter.
bad. My bad.
And then the other one is what?
That's the I think that's from the My Name Is cipher, I think. But that's
really?
It's a different bus bomb thing.
Right. So I've been trying to source where this one came into play, if it was attached to a letter and whether or not there was an envelope that went to it. And so far, I've not really been able to put those pieces together yet. So I don't even know when this one was sent.
All I know is
right. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Nolan. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I found the link in my trash. Someone erased it, evidently.
I resent it to you.
No, it didn't come. It was all of the link. Anyway, we don't need to quibble. I have it.
All right. All right. Good. All right. So, yes, on the left-hand side is page 5 of 6 of the bus bomb letter that was purportedly sent in 1969. But I also found a version of another bus bomb letter, and I'm not sure if this was the entirety of the letter or if there were other pages that went with it. But it appears that he attempted to describe this bomb twice. And we're bringing this up because today we're going to talk about the new bus bomb solve that Harriette has sent over to me, which basically you did use the 6-page bus bomb letter, the one that is actually linked to this one on the left in the peach color.
The 7 pages. 7.
What?
But anyway, it's 7 pages unofficially.
Oh,
but it is
well,
6.
because
you know
I think
I mean?
on the outside of one of the pages, he wrote, yes, a message. So we could technically call that 7, but he didn't label 7 pages. He labeled 1 of 6, 2 of 6, 3 of 6. So he figured it to be a 6-page letter. And then when he folded it, he inscribed a message on the outside of it like it was an envelope. So yes, that is correct. But these are all the areas that you've circled in blue that you found to be of interest for this particular solve, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm getting dizzy just looking at it because I thought I was done when I finished that section.
There's always more in this case, always more. All right. So basically, what you derived from these particular pages, you then I'm not sure if this particular version here is all of the words and the letters and the stenographic information, but you came up with a god awful amount of letters here. How many did you say this was total overall? Symbols and letters?
When I did all the circled sections, it came up with a couple of thousand symbols.
Wow.
And then I realized I'm missing the Z408, the rest of the information of the art that he's talking about. So that ended up being on page 1, another one on page 2, and so on. So it's like
we're going to take that one at a time then. All right.
I know, I'm getting dizzy looking at this right now. It took 5 weeks to do this.
All right. So do you want to start with the short message that you derived from each page, or do you want to start with the overall message of all the pages together?
Let's just start with the short messages that came from each page after I moved everything off to the side. Because this one on page 16, page 16, it came up with almost a complete, about 98% of the Z408. So I did that in about 15 minutes, but I had to take a while to get nice and neat. So that was found on page 1 after moving everything else that was circled off to the side and creating this huge section for a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Okay, so what was that message that was yielded from page 1?
Oh, page 1 was the Z408. I like killing people because it is so much fun. This is after anagramming what was left. The whole cipher was left on
Came
that.
out of that page 1?
Yeah. When I moved everything that was circled and anagrammed all that like a giant puzzle, a 5,000 piece or more. Shoot. But
wow.
Yeah. So that's what came up. I says, okay. And then on if you want to go to page 2, it came up with all the details of on page 2, it came up with all the details of the famous, now missing Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum art, but he's saying that went missing in 1974.
Okay, so can you read that message to us that you
got?
Sure,
it's saying what's left over is Imperial Guards, Mark Felt leaving the paddock, the Chaise Tortoni, procession on a road near Florence, 3 mounted jockeys, 2 studies, artistic soiree, landscape with an obelisk, young man self-portrait, lady and gentleman in black, the seascape, Christ in the sea, storm on the Sea of Galilee, the Chinese goo, and then the names of like Govard and then he's saying Frank Sheeran to kill International Brotherhood Teamsters Union, Wisconsin. That was
it says time bombs in, right?
This is a section of some film.
All right,
you're cutting interject.
Yes.
Well, I'll use this opportunity. Mark Felt was a high-ranking FBI official, and this was after Hoover died, and L. Patrick Gray was the acting head of the FBI. And Mark Felt was undermining Patrick Gray. And Mark Felt, it turned out, was Deep Throat, the source, the unnamed
Jack
source
is naming him.
Woodward and Birdseed. Okay. Yeah.
And so, so Harriet's saying Jack is naming him in this page 2, in this particular psalm.
So you're reading from the right side, Harriet?
Yes.
That's on the right side.
Okay.
We're going to come back to the left side after we finish the mini messages that she found from each individual page. Then she combines all 6 pages, and we're going to see this super solve that she has going on. All right. So on page 3, so this is page 3 of 6 of the bus bomb. Do you want to read that message to us, Harriet?
It's what's left over. He's describing about Cecilia, Lake Berryessa, the 2 teens by gun, They have.
No, we're not
Patty
hearing
Hearst.
anything, Harriet.
You're not hearing anything. Oh
My
boy.
hear-
her sound is. I don't know how not to do this. One.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm not. You hear her? Why don't I hear her?
Anyways,
I
it's
hear
saying
some of her.
it's saying
She's in and out.
Cecilia, Lake Berryessa, the two
Why
teens
have I
were
lost my
done.
sound? Somebody speak. Nolan, speak.
Hi, Nanette.
Okay, keep
You
going.
hear me?
I can
Do
hear
you hear
you.
me, Harriet?
Yes.
I can hear you. Nanette, you don't have sound.
What the heck?
I can hear Nanette.
I can hear Nanette too. I can hear her cussing and screaming. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not
Juan,
cussing and
let her know
screaming.
that we can
Evidently,
hear
I
her.
had to get
Kidding.
rid of my iPods for some reason. All right. So hopefully this speaker setting works. Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you fine.
So
Beautiful.
So anyway-
All right.
on page 3,
Do
I
it.
found what I found what was missing after I moved everything off to the side. It was hinting about the DB Cooper. On page 3, he is saying everything about DB Cooper. The DB Cooper caper from Seattle to Washington, Seattle to Reno, Nevada. And then he's saying the Tina Bar jumped out the aft downstairs as plane lands in Reno. And then he's saying the fishing line is hidden in the briefcase compartment site. Stewardess Tina Mucklow. And then he's saying never to be seen before again. And it's about the microfilm and the Eisenhower Eagle dollar, Fisk, Harris, group of Nazis. That was what was left over. And I had already decoded the DB Cooper stuff. I got the whole book. That he was saying that there was a fishing line hidden in the compartment. That's how he jumped out Reno. And then, of course, the rest is from Dennis's side saying he came home with a busted up shoulder and his mom took care of him.
Wow. Huh. Well, that is kind of going in line with what we know about him having the injury. He does state in one of his disability medical reports that he had, but he claimed to have wrecked a motorcycle. So
yes, Dennis said
but
the same thing.
What's that?
Dennis said the same thing, and I believe in one of the solves, and DB Cooper solved the book. He's mentioning about the motorcycle, that he hopped on the motorcycle after he did something to his shoulder, and then he had that accident there and took off and went back to where they're staying with Nora.
Gotcha.
So,
all right, let's move on to page 4 then. Come on here. Actually, this is the large version. So 4 of 6, this should be the short version.
yeah,
right?
There's a cleaned up version because an earthquake had just hit and I was working on that. So I said, I'll just finish the cleaned up version. This is on page 4. He's saying to tell the truth, TTTT, not Kennedy, and brother Bobby, and I see you. So he shot Darlene at Blue Rock Springs. And then Majel saw flashlight part of me. Cab driver Lee, the rest is Paul Lee Stein in San Francisco. Donna Lass, she supplied Numbatal, E. Adams, that's Edward Adams, with Yves Montand, both secret in rectum, the Numbatal. And then it says something about Giancana, and then a section for the wall message. And then Chinese Zhou Enlai, that's the microfilm that for DB Cooper. They're trying to get that to Zhou Enlai in long story. Anyways, Photoelectric, Patek Philippe, Vietnam, POW, John McCain, and Kathleen Weed, the baby father. Thought I'd shout to FBI bullet fool. Whoever thought it would be that way. One deputy director, tattletale fool, Mark Felt, have betrayed for the shitty old bag hot art to the Thuringia house. He's really letting Mark Felt have it. Mark Felt sees this. He's saying that Mark Felt betrayed the United States in the end for this art that he knew about in 1942.
Oh, wow.
When he was working with well, we can read the whole thing. I'll try it.
Right.
But
it's
amazing.
Let me pull us back now to the large version and what you came up with from page 1 from the overall. So go ahead and read that message, and I hope it comes out clearly.
Well, I got it on my phone, but I worry about trying to bring it up on the phone. Let's see, because I can see it better on the phone. Let's see, what do I have here? Let's go. Okay, page 1. Okay, he's saying that it's November 9th, 1974 evening. Then he's saying San Francisco Examiner, 5:44 p.m. Carbon copy to President Gerald Ford. I.O., his favorite phrase, documents in order. He's getting everything lined up. And then he's saying, shall I say the cuss words? Because he's not
might
happy.
As well.
He's saying, fuck you, San Francisco Chronicle, rot. And Harry Truman time, Francis Brown, mirror wall message, anagram, for heaven's sake, catch me before I kill more. I cannot control myself, has my name. He's getting Ford up to speed as to where they're at. So he's starting off with that era. And then it says World War II vet J.W. Torrance, and that's true. You anagram it, and it came up with Torrance. Then it says Heron's UTI under the influence of OSS, Strategic Office of Strategic Services Truth Serum, got convicted. President Kennedy, Utopia, died November 22nd, 63. I killed Lee Bowers II. And then he's bringing up about, oh my God, Attorney General RFK died 6/5, 68. And then he's saying currently for this year, he's saying I sent approximately 23 facsimiles, 1974. November 2nd, 74, sent Nomen Nescio, his secret name, Belli, 6 sideways, President Thomas Jefferson, 1 cent stamps. And then he's saying 6 times killer, that's a postal term, with 12/9/1969 postmark. Then he's saying sent on or about November 8th, 74. The November 8th, 1969 forget-me-not cards, American greetings, copyright, information hidden under the laboratory 1-inch thing, Cleveland Core, USA, and it's in Roman numerals, 1965, so it's MCMLXV. Then he's saying exclamation 6/6 _ which is true. You got all these exclamation marks and 6 underscores. Then he's saying Des, July, August, Sept, must print in paper, 340 cipher, Operation Paperclip, group of Nazis, laboratory scientists, now at NASA for Kennedy Moonquest. Mark Felt, now dubbed Deep Throat by Washington Post, is Operation Paperclip pilot who flew approximately 30 or so small groups at a time. His hippie WUO, that is Weather Underground Organization, daughter is in FBI Pigs logs. Watergate 7. He's trying to say the date or the time, but it's 12:24 a.m. Used tape on door, locks, burglary, reporter saw eavesdroppers, Bay of Pigs, Sturgis, McCord, Martinez, 2 chapstick tubes, Pepsi can, we didn't hear about that, the Pepsi can bugs in garbage can, and also, and then he's saying on or about 6/16, that's June 1672, Vice President Spiro Agnew wiping out 21 pages of Oval Office bugs, tapes, the IBM password too, but the main documents printed is in Press Secretary Ziegler tapes. Patricia Hearst disappeared. Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Vietnam maps maker, postcard King Roberts. Then he's catching up. It's Lightning Amen, Louis Beam, KKK, pause. POW, McCain is Kathleen Weed baby father, pause. Then he's screaming about that stamp. UIR, ubi ius remedium. Where is the remedy? Laboratory OSS/CIA guy Frank Olson quit. Sorry for printing 411. The information on the New York City and San Francisco City documents, region, paper files. Then he's saying George. Then,
all right, so before we move on, is there anything you'd like to comment on that, Nolan?
Yeah. This is from just anagramming.
But it seems like he's trying to give clues in there to through this correspondence in the 70s that he's the same guy that made the Zodiac correspondences in the late 60s, in the early 70s.
Oh, definitely.
He's showing tiebacks in there, and he's also showing his knowledge of history. OSS, which became the CIA, things like that. Mark Felt. I never knew Mark Felt was the pilot that was involved in Paperclip. Paperclip was when they brought the Nazi scientists and medical teams over kind of secretly and to join the American war machines and NASA and other groups like that.
Well, he's going all the way back. Like he's taking it all the way back to Lipstick. The Message on the Wall in Francis Brown is his early work in 1945. So he is starting from the beginning.
Reference. Yeah,
he's recapping for Ford. He's trying to say, this is what you're involved with, dude, under Nixon. so he's actually calmer in this one. But then it was George Hunter White. This is page 2 of what I got. Anyways, George Hunter White and Sidney Gottlieb pushed Frank Olson out the window. He's witnessed that. And then he said on November 20,
had it done.
1953. Then he's screaming again, UIR, where's the remedy? Did East Asia Shiro Ishii, did Senator Prescott Bush aide, which is Otto Lee Lundgren, did New York Post editor's son, did Prescott Bush widow Dorothy save 2 cent U.S. Scott, Demosthenes date Skull and Bones Society 322, Shemek perforation, Cincinnati, Ohio. That's then Dwight Eisenhower / Saudi 1953 666 execute order, which is evil execute order for, and he's naming it again, the World Trade Center time bombs that's looming decades later on 9/11/01, the peyote 999 stamp remedy to reverse the cure, the MK Ultra spells. He's screaming. This is all in anagramming. Anyways, need stamp remedy for AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous at UC Davis. And then he's saying Phillips 66 map, photoelectric Patek Philippe atomic clock, the 11 a.m. or after midnight. And then now he's morphing into what's happened now, currently, Momo, which is Sam Giancana, for sacking DA John Mitchell, getting Nixon resignation, ugly New York Chez Ninon Mellon niece, Pittsburgh PA editor's Scape. Then he's mentioning, my God, I never knew this name until now. Anyways, Avery Brundage and Princess Katharina, Marianne, Stephanie Charlotte, Bon Roos, a wedding present. Sam Giancana got Bobby Donati, robbed the prominent American Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, 1 Edward Monet, Chez Tony, 3 Rembrandt, young man self-portrait, lady and gentleman in black, seascape, Christ in the storm on the Sea of Galilee, 5 Edgar Degas, leaving the paddock, 2 studies, artistic soiree, procession on a road near Florence, 3 mounted jockeys, Vermeer, the concert, Govart Flink, landscape with an obelisk, Napoleon, imperial gods, Fernil Eagle, the Chinese goo. They saying it was stored in De Young Museum basement in Golden Gate Park. Then he's saying who helped USO, United Services Organization, Marilyn Monroe, entertainment attorney, now USPS lawyer, Warren F. Andrews, Mark Felt pilot, mail art stamped L quantity, that's limited quantity, it's a particular term for, anyways, via WHO, which is World Health Organization, and Red Cross Switzerland, Paul Mellon wife Bunny, and then he's trying to describe how it went. sent it to, with all these arrows, to Kostritz Bod House by bus. David Frost is to ask Olympics Avery, not Paul Avery, of San Francisco
Avery
Chronicle of Montecito, California, who financed Asian Art Museum wing of De Young. And then that goes to page 3. But
well, hold on. Let's stop with page 2.
Yeah, well, hold on.
Is there anything you'd like to say there, Nolan?
Yes. First of all, Avery Brundage, he was the head of the United States Olympic Committee in the late 60s and early 70s. So when they had the Olympics in Mexico City, when the sprinters did the black power symbol, he's the one that banned them from life and took their medals away. And then in 72, what they had was a hostage crisis where I think it was the PLO hijacked a plane and they killed several of the Jewish athletes. And so Brundage was in charge of the United States Olympic Committee during that era. So another note on this, the Pepsi thing keeps coming up, and Nixon. Nixon at first denied that he was in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963. Well, it turned out later he finally admitted it. But it's proven because he was at a Pepsi, what do you call that? Conference.
Yeah, he was in a Pepsi. He was the lawyer
he was the keynote speaker for the, he was, his law firm represented Pepsi. And he was the keynote speaker on that day and the day before in Dallas, the day Kennedy was killed.
Wow.
Yes, he was there. So
this Pepsi thing that just pops up out of nowhere is somehow some type of confirmation, since it's obviously an event that took place. Did you know that at the time, Harriette, when you solved it to say Pepsi can?
I'm thinking that was supposed to be a clue somehow that Nixon's involved with this bugging. But
yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. But a Pepsi can bug in the garbage, with the picking up noise. So shall I go on?
Yep. Let's go on.
About Pepsi.
Page number 4.
PepsiCo has always been affiliated with right-wing causes.
Gotcha.
Okay, so shall I go on?
Yes.
Okay, then he's saying that it was stored in the Young Museum. Then that he said that, oh my God, where did my page go? Hold on a few seconds. Oh, shall I read this? Okay, I think I can read this from here. Then he's saying that David Frost is supposed to interview Avery Brundage, but Avery Brundage dies. But anyways, that he leaves the Olympics, and then about, oh God, hold on a second. There we go. Okay, now I can see better. Okay, and then he says leaves, and then he's saying that's a San Francisco call, and he donated to the committee to re-elect the president for president, and then saying for President Ford, standard operating procedure. Next year is Sam Gianna Mount to savor bullets, and Frank Sheeran to kill International Brotherhood Hipsters Union. That's Papa. And then he's saying on or about 8/31. He's kind of clarifying the ciphers. I love killing people because it's so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous of all. To kill something gives me the most thrilling experience. It is better than getting a rocks off with a girl. And the best part of it all is I've killed will become my slaves in the afterlife. I will not give you my name because you will try to slow down or stop collecting my slaves. Then he's saying something about no address. That's the no address letter. But then he's saying in shitty San Francisco Mayor Joey Otto, Wisconsin mob boss Frank Balestri, that's his area apparently, Detective Toshi, distribution area. He's clarifying about the 2 teens, Lake Herman Road by gun, Lake Berryessa, Brian Hartnell, and Bossy Cal Cecilia. I have a decode where he's saying that. Anyway, shoe size is 10.5. Asked Napa's silly detective Ken Narlow. Then he's saying for Hoffa, Farron shot JF Kennedy brother in the ICU, 6/5/68. So for Bobby Kennedy, I shot Darlene Farron in Blue Rock Springs. Pause. Majot saw a flashlight part of me. Cab driver Paulie Stein in San Francisco. Donna Lass for Giancana supplied Nubatol. Both Edward C. Adams and Yves Montand secreted up Marilyn Monroe's rectum. Then he's saying, FYI, for your information, shitty chronicle rot. Lass is in Marie-on-Stay, Lake County, North OHV. That's Lake County right here. But Lass, loose, tiny teeth still there as I moved head with no teeth northeast of the Nyack area by the highway 8020. And then he's got this Bidding Rock symbol or this U like with the line. Anyways, he's trying to tell you how to find her. Then he's saying to Highway 21, that's going through Fairfield, then 8020 area. Anyways, they have
Highway 12,
Hurst,
wouldn't it be?
But yeah, I think it's the reverse.
Okay.
But he's saying they
that's
have
where they found her
Hurst
skull.
UTI.
Right.
Well, anyway, okay. So he's saying they
Not
have
far from
Hurst
Nyack.
UTI. Happy to give opportunities stories about how IOU and how that's Nixon and how shitty Washington Post pulled off Northwest Orient hijacking called the DB Cooper caper, going from and then.
All right. Pause.
Well,
Because
yeah, that's.
I want to know, how do we determine whether or not this skull that was found of Donna Lass's, whether or not it had teeth in it? This would be an easy confirmation to this solve.
I believe
I
they
still
said
have that article, and maybe we can contact the reporter and see what, and maybe even get into contact with the people that found the skull.
Right?
Mhm.
There's got to be, I mean, if that skull is found without teeth in it, it confirms her solve.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
But he's meant-
all right. Anything you
Okay,
would like
then-
to say about this particular portion, Nolan?
No, just fascinating.
Right?
This is just all anagramming the entire 7 pages. Oh my
All
God.
right. So let's do
Anyways,
the next
here's-
page.
Okay, this is the
Oh,
next one.
One point I do want to make is Gerald Ford keeps popping up too. And Gerald Ford was on the Warren Commission, and he was a spy for J. Edgar Hoover on the Warren Commission. And so there was a reason when Spiro Agnew, Nixon's vice president, got canned, he appointed Ford as vice president because Ford is one of the keepers of the secrets. And then when Nixon went, Ford became president without ever being elected vice president and never being elected president. But Ford keeps popping up too.
Well, so then again, Jack is recapping catching Ford. This is the shit you're in now, dude. Okay. So anyways, he's saying he's bringing about the DB Cooper caper, how it was contrived, and then say from Seattle, Washington to Reno, Nevada, pause, the ransom money, Tina Barr, pause, Joe and Lai microfilm, that's what it was over. And then stewardess Tina Mucklow, wait till you hear about her. But anyways, Eisenhower Eagle Dollar, pause, fishing line, hidden briefcase compartment, jumped out down the stairs as plane was landing, never to be seen again. Dollar went to Fisk Harrah's, and then he got away. Now he's going into a rant.
Is he saying he gave the money, the $200,000 to Harrah's?
It was to pay for this operation to get this secret film to Nixon to go to Joe and Lai. This is what I'm seeing. In order to, it was to grease the palms, to grease the wheels, to stop the Vietnam War. And Nixon was basically saying, well, he's saying if you don't do this, that we're going to just publish these pictures.
Gotcha. I read that Spiro Agnew was forced to resign, and of course, being out of money, had to take a loan of $200,000 from Frank Sinatra, which we know he has a place up there in North Shore in Lake Tahoe. But it also kind of ran in tandem with this whole hijacking and $200,000, and then all of a sudden, poof, Spiro Agnew pays Sinatra back almost immediately.
Yeah, see, the money was moving in strange places.
Right. All right, keep going.
Okay, so now he's saying, thought I'd shout, fuck you, Avery, and fuck you, Poe, Deep Throat 2. Oh, how? Wowee. Oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, why? This is all in anagramming. Why? They thought that they bought the president. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ha, ha, ha. He's laughing. Then he's laughing at split second, 6 bullet fool. That's FBI Mark W. Felt. One did not know World War II Intel interpreter, image interpreter of Natick, Massachusetts, Pagan Hill, that's Isabella Stewart Gardner, greenhouse, potted plants, and he was the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, Better Business Bureau, FBI agent, W. Mark Feld, and Axis Powers Helmut Goldschmidt, codename Peasant, in UK, radio transmissions, documents in order, D-Day, the operations orders, hour to German enemy territory of Normandy beaches, worked for shitty Hirohito, is now boob tube TV of Watergate's Deep Throat. Whoever thought it would be that way, that one FBI deputy director fool, tattletale Mark Felt, would have betrayed the president for the shitty old bag hot art to the Thuringia, East Germany, Bruce Bod House. Then it's saying from Zodiac, correct address with not wife, Nora Kaufman Terrence, a P.O. box at Shady Oaks, Texas. Oh my God. Take
wow,
a deep
that was a
breath
lot.
after that.
You know, I skipped over it in one of the other pages, but you talked about Hiroishi, which was the commander of Unit 731 in Japan, correct?
Yes.
He was running quite like the genocidal type atmosphere that Hitler was, of their own people using anthrax and syphilis and tainted candy, cutting off arms so that they could see how long it took somebody to exsanguinate. Like this man is just as evil as likely the Nazis they brought over under paperclip.
Yeah, he came over.
And the
There's
CIA
not much
worked with
known
him.
of him.
Right?
Yep. First the OSS and then the CIA. They tried to recruit him.
Wow. All right. Is there any comments in regards to this one, Nolan?
No, it's just fascinating. It's crazy. But I think we do need to reach out to the reporter and to the whatever law enforcement entity it was that found the skull and ask him about the teeth.
Well, and he keeps bringing up Bush with this Bay of Pigs thing, in my mind anyways. And we saw in the John Benet Ramsey note that he signed off SBTC, which was Subic. What was that? What was
Subic Bay Training Center?
Right.
Subic Bay Training. Yep.
He keeps bringing back up this whole entire thing in regards to Bay of Pigs, and he continues to do that into 1996. All right.
Crazy.
So let's see here.
Yeah, I think that's just pretty much all the work that was done to put this 5,000 plus whatever. I mean, it's huge.
All right. So
really...
now at this point, I'm on to the solve on the Peek Through the Pines. Can you tell us what this one says?
Well, let me bring that one up too.
I didn't get an overall solve for the message. I just got your work on it, so I'm not sure what the message is. President Abraham Lincoln, 4 cents prepaid. Nope, I don't think that's it. President G. Ford, House Facsimile, 1225, CC Assholes, San Francisco Examiner, the Hearst Building, 3rd Street, San Francisco, California. Poe, the San Francisco Chronicle. Are you following me there?
Yeah, he's that's the puzzle pieces there, but he's saying he's trying to say something to the effect that he had witnessed, he's asking for the stamp again. And
right.
He's naming about all the letters that he sent in 1974, the little list letter, John's letter, that he's still alive, assholes, UIR, assholes. I see 411 OSS Olson die out the window. Then he's saying, answer question. Did Prescott Bush Ishii say the same thing? Did they save this particular stamp, Cincinnati, Ohio? And then he's saying that that Lawrence Swearingen witnessed him. Oh my God! He's
You're
saying
saying
that,
our Lauren Swearingham, who worked on the solves and could only come up with Jack's name in all of the solves that made contact with us in 2013 and is now writing books on this stuff. You found his name in the middle of this information?
Yeah, that he was a witness. Oh my God! So,
all right, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this together too, but this one, oh wait, okay, wait. He's naming Mark Felt again, that he's the snitch, deep throat, Oval Office plug leak op, location of Monte Verde apartment 6 Lass, old SOB, Giancana mistress, who's going to eat bullets soon, South Lake Tahoe. I executed East State Line Rye roundabout. She let Darlene use suit time card to hit Robert Kennedy. Head without teeth is you're going to keep going past Donner in the snow park, 8020 area, CHP run site. That's I think Highway 20. There's also some, or there was, where you would have to bring your trucks through, and make sure you can keep going. Anyways, the Camp Spalding area. He's naming the Camp Spalding area and then he's saying the last body to find her is to keep going south, going through Sierra to 12 Fairfield to 29, go north up to Lower Lake, turn right, east on Main Street, that morphs into Morgan Valley Road, and that the rest of her is at North OHV BLM. And then he's just going on giving some details that she's the nurse, her teeth are there, and so on. And he's signing it J. Torres.
And all of that is extremely accurate.
By 80 and 20, but the rest of her body and maybe her teeth are over by Lake Berryessa?
Well, actually, yes, because the North OHV, I'm here in Lower Lake. Okay, the North OHV is about, it crosses over to the South OHV, which is, you're on Knoxville Berryessa Road, and you're just a few miles to Lake Berryessa. So, yeah. Because, so that's where he's saying that she's it's near the border. The North OHV is near the border of Lake and Napa counties, but that is one messy road to drive on.
Right?
Yeah. So 12 is the road to Napa, and 12 cuts over 29. To 29, and 29 will take you to Berryessa.
Yeah. Yes. Well, 29 takes you around Napa, and 12 takes you directly into Napa. So you actually come up on the backside of 29, which will take you out to Sonoma, Santa Rosa area, and then
that's a Lake County too. Yep.
Off up into like Angwin, St. Helena, all of those touristy areas and wine country areas. In fact, I think our governor here for California actually owns wineries out there.
Yeah. Who knew?
Exactly. Well, that made for some extremely interesting information. And I think that there has literally, aside from the fact that we know that all of these are actual instances that occurred, in order to do any type of confirmation, I think would be, a great idea to see if we could determine whether or not the skull still had the teeth in it.
Well, shall I read the rest that came, because I realized I needed to add everything about the literal ad that's on top of the thing.
Okay,
that's
do it quick.
Came in.
Do it quick. I got to get to some more slides.
It's saying Dow Inc. pilot Mr. Swearingen see Asses Dragon dripping pen card 13 victim card intellectual by CIA Zodiac design Nomenesio, that's him. ID, dangerous animal, CIA op, live in action, last or at East State Line. And then it's saying afterwards he was guilty. He phoned dear associate Nora Kaufman about the East State Line sins. And then he said he loaded the suit and then in ice, drive his laundry truck up 50 to 20, cut off head at Incline Village, Nevada Forest condos, then gone on to 89 to the 8020 area, Then body be in at 95457 County Road 140, North OHV, California, which that is also Morgan Valley Road. It's also County Road 140.
I find it rather strange, not strange, maybe again a confirmation, but Swearingham is the one that came up with the solve that the company responsible for the MK Ultra drugs was Dow Chemicals Inc. And so now it's being named along in association with his name. We
in
did
1974.
This is just crazy. And I think, what did we put him in his 20s somewhere in 74, Swearingham?
He's a young man, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he didn't know the name of the guy that he saw. He was just this pilot flying and witnessed something and then followed him in the plane. Huh. And he probably spent a whole bunch of years like us getting gaslighted. You couldn't have seen the Zodiac. Arthur Lee Allen wasn't there. And they put him on hold. Yeah. So I'm giving him that out because I got more that I found his name in. I think he was just trying to capture the guy and be the hero.
I think this is just absolutely astonishing, considering the only name he could find in any of his solves were Jack Terrence. And then we're now finding his name in solves. Like, this is just getting a little crazy. Oh my goodness.
It's in the LA Times envelope too.
Well, I was hoping that we would actually make it into the rest of the DC Freeway Phantom information, but it looks like we've only got a couple minutes left here. So I say we just do a free for all, and I'll pick up where I left off on the DC Freeway Phantom. Jack being not in California and murders not occurring in California while he's not here. We'll cover all of that, I'm assuming, next week. So is there anything that you would like to add to talk about, Nolan?
I'm good. I'm just pondering all the stuff that came up today. It's crazy. He solved the map.
It literally now it makes sense why he wrote a 6-page letter. He is literally catching Ford up, right? As Harriette says, catching Ford up on all the happenstances of this group.
And I basically think he's alluding to that he himself was a MK Ultra experiment.
Absolutely. Yes. He said was after him. He was afraid of the trigger. He's been asking even since Swearingham's solves that he had gotten off the drugs from the MK Ultra project. And obviously that's why he's having all of these issues and wanting this remedy stamp, right, Harriette?
Yeah, he's trying to get deprogrammed.
And he's really good with history too. Yeah. And he's good with history, Operation Paperclip, things like that. Just the Kennedy assassination, all the various interrelated things.
But he's involved with all of them. So he doesn't have to. He didn't have to read it. He was involved with it. He wrote a letter to the Dallas PD in regards to
Frank Olson thing. Yeah, the Frank Olson and the murder of Frank Olson, which was dubbed a suicide.
Right.
And Olson was experimented on too. He was a doctor and a scientist, and they gave him LSD, and it kind of freaked him out. And then they feared that he would talk, and so they killed him. Threw him out of high rise in New York, and that's
Jack keeps on seeing him going out the window. I think that's something triggered him. So, but anyways,
because he feared himself being thrown out the window. Like he said, he's afraid of the trigger and the outbolts and everything that's involved with it. He's trying to stay alive, and I think I said this from the beginning. He's the information bomb. There was no bomb, no bus. There was never going to be a killing of children. He was on that bus at the time he's writing these letters. He was living in a ready-made bus, and he was telling everybody he was the information bomb, and he was making that known. And that's what I felt, because some of these letters just have no regular sense to them whatsoever, other than he's trying to get a message that we're unaware of to other people.
Yeah, symbolism and tying in different things and different events.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. That was extremely interesting, Harriette. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
Breath.
Yeah, next time I see you, I'll bring that article, that Donna Lass article.
All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh,